what you're looking at right now is my Minecraft session from last week. That's me over there building my base. The thing is, I didn't record this. Someone else did. This file was recorded from inside the forest, a couple of blocks away from me, and I found it sitting in my folder next to 3 other files I never made. Let me start from the beginning. It started with this thread I found on an old forum archive. Some guy back in 2021 asking about the replay mod, which, if you don't know, is the mod basically every Minecraft YouTuber uses for cinematics. He said he recorded one session and got extra files in his replay folder. Files he never recorded. He deleted them, played again, and they came back. And everyone in the thread just laughed at him. You double-clicked record, reinstall Java. Your files are not haunted, that kind of thing. He replied one more time. He said, "It's not a duplicate." I watched one of them. It's not a duplicate. And then he stopped posting. That was 5 years ago. Now I'll be honest with you. Reading that at 1 in the morning, I wasn't laughing like the rest of the thread. I was extremely curious, because I've made thousands of these files. I know exactly what a duplicate looks like, and whatever he was describing wasn't that. Surprisingly, the guy's profile was still up, and in the About section, he had an email. He used to make texture packs, apparently. And look, I know how this sounds, but I was way too curious not to try, so I wrote him. Something like, "Hey, I know this is 5 years old, but did you ever figure out what those files were?" I sent that at 11 at night, fully expecting nothing. The reply came 4 minutes later. It was one sentence. "It's the jar. I don't want it on my computer anymore." And an attachment. There was a second line under it too. I read it and I kinda just moved past it, which, looking back, I should not have done. We'll get to that. So yeah, I downloaded it. And it's not a mod, by the way, it's a whole game jar, a Minecraft version. So I did the versions folder thing, put it in the launcher, and there it is. 1.16.5_C. There's no 1.16.5_C. I checked. That version does not exist anywhere. I probably should have stopped right there, but I wasn't going to put it anywhere near my main world anyway. I've been building that world for 3 years, so fresh test world, clean instance, my normal replay mod on top because I record everything. And the thing is that the game just works. It looks a little off, kind of old. The textures aren't quite right, and shaders straight up refuse to load, but it runs fine. I messed around for about half an hour. Built a little starter base, dug around a bit, you know how it goes. At some point, the world felt kind of empty. Test worlds always do. Anyway, I closed the game, and out of habit, I checked the folder to make sure my replay saved. I recorded one session. There were 4 files. And my first thought was literally the forum thread. Duplicates. The guy was wrong. Everyone told him so. Except the sizes were all different. That's the exact thing he said. And 3 of them were from that evening, minutes apart. And one was from 3:47 a.m. 6 hours and 12 minutes long. I played for 30 minutes. So obviously I watched them. I opened the first extra file and it's my session. Like, exactly my session. There I am building the base, digging, all 30 minutes of it, completely normal. Second file, same thing. My session again. At this point I kinda relaxed. Okay, it's a buggy old build. It saved the session 3 times. The forum guys were right, nothing's haunted. And then I noticed where the file starts. Okay, if you've never used the replay mod, one thing you need to know. When you open a replay, you don't start in some random spot. You start exactly where the recorder was standing, because the file records what you saw. When I open my file, I spawn at my character. That's how it works. The extra files don't start at my character. They start in the forest, out in the trees, looking at my base, and way over there you can see me, building. This file is my session, recorded by something standing in the forest, watching me the entire time. So obviously I searched that forest. Every tree, every block. I flew through all of it. There is nobody there. And then I remembered the player list. You just press tab. It shows everyone who's in the recording. 2 names. Me. And Vesic. And that's when the second line of that email finally made sense. Don't check who's recording. Yeah. I checked. I couldn't see him anywhere, but he was there somehow. The only recording left now is the big gigabyte file. It's not the test world, and it's not my world either. It's a world called home, and I've never seen it in my life. Everything in it is kept exactly the way it was, like a museum. Look at the player list. Vesic. And the file showed up at 3:47 in the morning. Game closed, me asleep, jar sitting in downloads. It wrote itself onto my computer. That's why Vesic's email was 1 sentence. It does things on your computer, and he wanted it gone. I wrote to Vesic again, and this time it was a real question. Who are you, and why are you in my files? It bounced. Address not found. The address that answered me 4 minutes after I wrote it doesn't exist. So I searched the forum for his name. And I found a thread from April 2021. Has anyone heard from Vesic? People from the mods section asking around. He'd just gone quiet. And then somebody posted a news article. He went missing on April 2nd, 2021. Left his phone, left his wallet. His computer was still on when his family got into the apartment. His profile says last active, April 2nd, 2021. He posted at 3:47 in the morning, and sometime that same day, he was gone. The last thing he ever wrote on the internet was, "It's not a duplicate." The player in my world has been missing for 5 years. So at some point I figured, okay, let me just try rendering one of these files to see if there is something else wrong with them. That's how every video on this channel gets made anyway. I set up a camera path, I hit export. This is what came out. That is not my camera path. The export ignored it completely. It rendered from his point of view. And it barely moves. It just stands there in the trees, watching me build my base. And by the way, you've already seen a piece of this render. It's the first shot of this video. One more search. His username, outside his own account. And there's a thread from November 2021, 7 months after he disappeared, written by a kid called Tabo. Vesic's little brother. He's trying to recover replay files from Vesic's old drive, all their shared worlds, all their sessions together, the only recordings of his brother that exist. The lab told him the drive was dead, unrecoverable, all of it gone. And then he wrote this. I still log into his account sometimes. It feels like walking around in his shoes. The player in my files isn't Vesic. It's It's a little brother wearing the only thing he has left of him. And that world called home. The 2 beds, the sign on the door that says Tabo, the tower out back that says, back soon. That's their world. He wasn't watching anybody in that file. He was visiting. He can't watch Vesic play anymore. So he watches everyone else. So here's what I did, and yeah, it hurt. I deleted the jar, I deleted the whole version from my launcher, and then I deleted the replay folder. All of it. Every raw recording from every video I've ever made. 3 years of files. Partly because I don't know which of them are mine anymore. And partly because I didn't want to find him in there again. Empty folder, clean install, done. That was 4 days ago. Yesterday, I recorded a new session. First one since. Fresh install, official launcher, new world. 20 minutes. I closed the game and I checked the folder. So yeah, I recorded one session. So that's everything I actually know. I don't know what 1.16.5_C is. I don't know if Tabo made it or found it, or if somebody sent it to him the same way it was sent to me. I don't know how he gets into worlds that aren't his. And I don't know what happened to Vesic. Nobody does. They never found him. His computer was still on. All I know is that somewhere out there is a kid, logged into an account that nobody's coming back for, keeping a world called home exactly the way it was, and standing at the edge of everyone else's, watching strangers play. Because it's the closest thing he has left to watching his brother. I'm not opening the new file. I'm not deleting it either. And Tabo, if you ever see this video, and I think you will, I'm sorry about your brother. You can watch whenever you want. Consider subscribing for more content like this.